All right. Good evening, folks. Phil Gallagher of Thraben University here for another Legacy stream. Today we have a donation deck list from Fine and Andy for a rather interesting deck. I believe that there is a modern question mark equivalent of this deck that is known as Dice Factory because, well, this deck is going to use an absurd number of dice, so hence the name. So what's happening? Essentially, this is a big mana deck. So Everflowing Chalice, Grim Monolith, Voltaic Key, these are cards you're used to seeing in Legacy. But then there's a lot of other things here, and I think I'm going to drag those to this middle category that you probably aren't used to seeing. So, Surge Node enters the battlefield with 6 charge counters, and you can tap this to put a charge counter onto target artifact. So what uses charge counters? Oh, this uses charge counters. And so does Astral Cornucopia, which taps for a mana for each charge counter on it. So you can use Surge Node turn after turn after turn to increase the amount of mana that your Everflowing Chalice or Astral Cornucopias are making. And also with the charge counter synergies, we have Coretapper. You can tap Coretapper. You can tap Coretapper to put a charge counter on an artifact, or you can just immediately sacrifice Coretapper to put 2 charge counters onto an artifact. So that can immediately turn an Astral Cornucopia or Everflowing Chalice into a Soul Ring, even if played for 0 mana, and that's relatively strong. So why jump through these hoops? Well, you can go infinite with a Rings of Brighthearth, which says whenever you activate an ability, if it isn't a mana ability, you may pay 2. And if you do, copy that ability. So what you can do is have something that produces 4 mana, like, say, an Everflowing Chalice or Astral Cornucopia that has a bunch of charge counters on it. You pay 1 mana to untap with Voltaic Key, and you pay 2 mana to copy. So as long as you are making more than 3 mana, you net a mana with each cycle, and you can generate infinite mana in that way. Okay, so stapling this together as the bridge to the late game, there's Ensnaring Bridges and also Mazemind Tome, which is a draw or card selection spell. It has done things in a couple of other fringe Legacy decks that I've played, but I'm never going to claim that it was the most impressive thing in the world. But the top end of this stuff is really good. And as we saw in the sort of like companion Zerda era, just having 8 Karns in your deck and being able to jam them off of Grim Monoliths and Friends can be really strong. As far as the sideboard goes, basically there's a whole bunch of copies of Trinispheres because you're not a Chalice of the Void deck, so you're a bit of a dog against combo. And other than that, you basically have a 12-card Arn Great Creator package that allows you to access different parts of your combo, Basalt Monolith and Rings of Brighthearth, and it also just gives you a huge degree of selection of various things that could be annoying for decks, from Ratchet Bomb to Graveyard Hate to Ensnaring Bridge to a Walking Ballista, which is a great way to kill if you have infinite mana and a Karn. With that being said, let's just go ahead and hop into a Legacy League. Excuse me. All right. Legacy. Oh, Legacy League. Oh, true. 5-0. That's the ticket. Let's battle. Hope you all are having a good evening. I know many of you are probably just getting off of work now. I am always at home these days because I am working from home, so the difference between working hours and non-working hours relatively low. Thank you. I might need the luck. I feel like we are either going to snowball and plow over opponents using this stuff, or I'm going to have awkward hands where it's like Surge Node, Grim Monolith, Ancient Tomb, City of Traders, 2 Mazemind Tomes. Good luck. Oh, 100%. I think this stream is going to be very fun one way or another. I have little doubt about that. but I'm not going to claim that we're going to be competitive every round. Chalice of the Void tends to be one of the best cards in the Ancient Tomb decks, and we're not playing it. Hell yeah. We have Karn into Mystic Forge. Nice mother. That Karn is also quite good. I don't think Surge Node is worth playing for 2 life right now. I think I just go Ancient Tomb pass and feel super sad if my opponent wastelands me. Yeah, that's fine. Pretty sure that Mother of Runes was supposed to attack against Ancient Tomb. Just throwing it out there. Twitter told me to come here. Good. I guess one reason to have played Surge Node on turn 1 was so that I make a 2-2 with Karn. That's kind of interesting. So I'm looking to put some bodies on board and pressure my opponent a little bit. And then later on in the game, I'm going to look to lock my opponent out with Ensnaring Bridge. Yeah, that's fine. The Construct sticks around. Okay, I gotta take a second to do Surge Node, Astral Cornucopia math. So Surge Node is free if I have Astral Cornucopia, right? So I use 1 mana for Surge Node. No, I guess it costs me 1 mana. I use 1 mana for Surge Node, I use 1 mana to remove it, and then that nets me 1 mana. Okay. So I think I'm gonna lose my city this turn. Possible I should just Mystic Forge this turn as well. Just get that into play, use it to help me get lands in case I get locked under a Schadenport. No, Karn's really good. Alright. 2 mana, use 1, cast Surge Node. Okay, do that for 0. Use 1, choose target artifact, put it on there. Alright, so I've gotten my mana back. Now I play this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Play this Karn. It is indeed Legacy Staple Surge Node. Alright, I have 2 4/4s that my opponent has to deal with now. I think I'm going to stay on the defensive and try to protect this Karn for a little while, rather than try to start turning defensive, or sorry, offensive immediately. I'm going to outgrow the Batter Skull pretty much immediately. Get rid of this upkeep stop on my turn. Not going to need that right now. I think it'll be worth it to do this. That just gives me more options on my main phase. Third Mystic Forge, huh? Wanted to hit any land there. There's a world where I just Karn plus try to hit a land and play Karn the Great Creator here. But dude? Yeah, just go dude. Yeah, it is Legacy Dice Factory. I think I'm gonna attack with 1. That way, if we get like Flicker Whisper Swords or something, we still have something bigger than the Batter Skull. It's awkward if my opponent naturally has Sword of Fire and Ice in their hand. I guess land so they can equip. I can just trade 2 constructs for a Batter Skull and then slam this Karn. See what opponent does. Alright, they've gotten a Flicker Wisp for later. I again think it's worth it for me to do the same thing as last turn. I think that's worth my life. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Guess I start here. No, I didn't follow the Legacy Challenge at all. I was playing Vintage all day. I just crash in with everything. And just try to pivot this game. Kind of presume that they'll chump block with the Batter Skull so that they can reset it. And then play Karn. A lot of ways to play this turn, including just like Mystic Forge and go that route. I'm gonna let my mana empty and attack with 3/6/6s. See what my opponent does, and then play the Karn post-combat. I don't think I want to leave Recruiter. I want to kill these two. I'm with the Stone Forge. I don't know what I want to do with this, though. I can just pick up Sorcerer's Spyglass and put it on Rishadenport. And also just cast a Walking Ballista for 1, then pump a bunch of mana into it next turn. I can also just get the Walking Ballista and not use it. Ooh, hold on. I can get the Voltaic Key? Go down to 9. Have 1 mana floating, use that. Untap Surge Node. Voltaic Key might be good. Also lets me untap my Duders for the next turn cycle. That might be me getting cute, though. No, I actually think I like Voltaic Key. I can just alternatively use that to untap one of my constructs as well. And then my opponent has to Flicker Wisp that construct away if they want to attack. And that leaves me with more options for next turn. Yeah, I can theoretically go infinite with rings. I think I'll do it. Okay. Play a Mystic Forge and see what happens. We're doing things. Ooh, do I win? Do I have enough mana to win? No, I don't have anything untapped right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. I think I will cast that. Alright. This is only artifacts, right? It is only artifacts. I can draw this, but it costs me 2 life to draw it. Probably isn't worth it. Or to untap this. Okay, so now I attack and force my opponent to jump block. No worries, I'm not super familiar with many of the cards in this deck either. I could choose new copies for this Karn. Oh, that's super interesting. That's probably worth 2 life. I think that's worth 2 life. Now I'll target the rings this time. So now I have a couple of blockers for the Karn to make sure they can't get the Batterskull back. My opponent just left me with Karn. I guess I just get a large walking ballista and kill my opponent. I haven't mapped it out, but I assume they're dead. I just kill their 3 blockers, yeah. Oh, I should have Surge Node did first. I'll misstep on my end. Walking ballista for x equals 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. Okay, cool. I don't really know that we're the sort of deck that actually sideboards for fair matchups. Like, we're really looking to Karn Great Creator for stuff like this, and I guess that and that when it's important. I could board in some of the, like, less clutch targets, if that makes sense. Like, I could replace Maze Mind Tome with some of this other stuff that's maybe better. Maze Mind Tome is eh. Yeah, this deck's really cool. Is it good? Yeah. Unclear. Is it interesting? Oh, yes. Oh, yes, this is interesting. I don't know that I'm gonna have like time to just like grind things out with this in terms of like my mana investment. I think I'll just play another bridge and a spyglass main. I want this sideboard like for sure. Retrobone's kind of awkward. I have things at 1 and 2. A lot of things and 0. Maybe I'll keep some Maze Mind Tomes. I want to be able to tutor for both sides of the combo. Yeah. It 5-0'd, it must be tier 1. That's how it works. I don't make the rules. How much mana does this hand actually make? So it's Astral Cornucopia for free, City of Traders, Coretapper, turn Astral Cornucopia into something that taps for 2, tap, play Grim Monolith, and play Bridge on turn 1. Then have 4 theoretical mana for turn 2. This might be good enough to keep. Also get pretty silly if I draw certain things, such as Voltaic Key on turn 1. Yeah, if I can get one more mana to just play a Karn, that probably beats this hand. Maybe that's a reason to not play Ensnaring Bridge on turn 1. Oh, I did this wrong, didn't I? Shit. Shit. Well, now I have to tap the Monolith to do the Coretapper stuff, which I didn't if I just played Coretapper. Alright. Yeah, based on my sequencing now I shouldn't tap Coretapper. Try to get one more charge counter out of it. Make up for my mistake. You. Gonna be fine. Now I'll sacrifice. I need to sacrifice? I don't need to sacrifice. I could just play Karn. But I think I'd rather Karn without giving up City of Traders. Alright. What do I get? I don't have a key to get. I guess I can just get a Walking Ballista for 1. Take the pesky Thalia out of play. Or my opponent can protect it with Caracas. Oh yeah, I have no idea what I'm doing in terms of sequencing. I'm taking forever. I fully admit that. Sky Sovereign? Chronosphere? Sky Sovereign seems pretty good. Just like play it, hit the Stoneforge, and then start attacking for 5 with it just by plussing Karn. Yeah, I don't hate that. I'm pretty sure it loses its ability if I plus with Karn. Read Karn again. Maybe it doesn't. Do I get to still Lightning Bolt when I attack? I feel like I still get to Lightning Bolt when I attack. Find out. Oh my god. This seems fair. Yeah, I've never had that come up before. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If you have a Swords to Plowshares. Do. Three, 4, and then I'll have my opponent dead, right? This is 3, 4. Then I have 1, 2, 3, 4. No, I only have 5, so I can't lattice. But I can liquid metal coating. Should be good enough. GG's, opponent says. Kinda, thank you very much for the support. And Fine and Andy, I didn't say too much to you because I was like using math to, figure out where to put my dice and making mistakes. But thank you for your continued support as well, friend. Um, while I'm queuing in between rounds here, I want to throw this out there. So I have added a new emote to the channel. I'm always trying to be good about using they for opponents that I don't know, and I thought this was a really cool emote that at Rylacori Tower was promoting on Twitter. So subs, feel free to throw that around when you see it. Yorion! I think this makes a turn 1 Karn. I haven't done the math. I go City, Coretapper, Chalice. Chalice makes 2 mana. Monolith? No, it doesn't make a turn 1 Karn. But it makes a lot of mana. Sequencing is kind of weird for this turn. My opponent has a Force of Will. I also think I'm supposed to open with Coretapper. I'm supposed to go Coretapper, cast Chalice, see if Chalice gets forced. No, if I do it this way, I can end the turn with an untapped Monolith. And then next turn I've got Karn, even if one of the two of these is blown up by something like an Abrupt Decay. Yeah. I don't know that I want to lose my City of Traders yet. I'll use it if I can draw a card off a Maze Mind Tome, I think. I'm gonna get pierced for not playing out my land. Okay. Good news is we didn't just get like Oko'd. Okay, that's really good for later. My opponent has put a clock into play. Which I'm good with. My opponent follows up with like Oko and then like is attacking me for 5 this turn. I'm less cool with that. Alright, they're not gonna let me Coretapper again. That's fair. Well, they can also name like Construct for Karn. I'm not gonna want that. I'm just gonna exile that now. I will probably scry that away. There's a world where I keep it though, just to have a second one. because the way I am going to lose this game is in combat. And having 2 turns of Ensnaring Bridge if my opponent finds an Oko is much better than having 1 turn of it. But at the same time, I do also just want to get Hellbent. It's a little bit harder for me to get Hellbent with 6 mana worth of stuff that I want to play. So this is going to break even for using it. So I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 potential mana. Yeah, I think I'm just going to scry this away. Now I need to stop on my upkeep again. That also just gives me a little more life to work with. I don't need another Mystic Forge. I'll go ahead and send that away. Alright, well, we tried, we spun a lot of wheels, and we found another Ancient Tomb. Put 1 on Astral Cornucopia this turn. Just kind of spread them out a little bit. Cast this for 1, and then cast Bridge without life. Nice. Of course, an Abrupt Decay or Assassin's Trophy or Oko are all quite good. I have no basics, right? Oh shit, I shouldn't have searched. That took away that Karn that was on top of my library. That was dumb. I can cast artifact spells, not colorless spells. Oh, and colorless spells. Okay, my bad. I stopped reading. Don't really want that. Go ahead and shuffle here. Get a new bridge. Take key's pretty good. I think I want to cast the 1 from hand, oddly enough. Okay. Life total is going to go a little low in the short term here. I will cast that. I think I will cast it for 1 specifically. Oh, hold on, I have to pay to do this, right? Pay to do that. Okay. We'll call it quits there. All right. So let's tap this for 2. Alright, this needs to be smaller. Put that there. Surge node, put that there. Tap that for 6. Untap it. Paying 1. Tap that for 6 more. Play Karn. Karn. Karn minus. Lycosense Lattice. Alright, we made a lot of mistakes. We did things anyway. Yeah, this is not the deck to, like, learn while streaming. I messed up by not casting a Karn. I messed up by, like, shuffling. I think I made one other mistake that game. Is that the game where I just missed sequence turn 1? No, I think it was my previous match. Yeah, like, I'm definitely messing up things playing this. Deck's perfect, don't sideboard. Kind of want Sorcerer's Spyglass in the sideboard to wish for Oko reasons. I could see playing Turnispheres on the play, but I have a lot of cheap stuff too. I think we're just gonna not sideboard. No, this hand has a lot of gas, but no way to power anything out quickly. Same. Ah! Go to 4. I think I need to throw back one of the Karns. Possible I'm supposed to throw back the key, but like Monolith plus key actually gives me some ability to stay in this game. I think I'm going for the early Karn Great Creator and trying to like liquid metal coating rather than try to aggro my opponent out via. Alright, oh no. Alright. So Surge Node, key, this Karn. Done. Alright, I need a land. With a land. Oh, buddy. Ah! Colby, it's certainly been fun so far. But I think I'm just dead after mulliganing here. Boy, I will make mana, given the opportunity to make mana. Petty Theft, my Voltaic Key. Alright. I don't like this. I don't like this at all. I'm just gonna concede if I don't hit a land this turn. Yeah. Well, I can try. Oh. All right. I'm still convinced the deck's perfect. Wax submit. I mean, yeah. I think we're gonna force a will check our opponent on turn one here. God damn it. All right, let's rip a soul land off the top. That sucks. We're also playing a large deck because of your hand. I can play Inventor's Pair, play Astral Cornucopia on one, but then a Spell Pierce or something sets me back a considerable amount of mana. I think I just need to rip a soul land or I'm dead. Ugh. Now we're just like a Dak or an Oko away from being dead. Yeah, cool. The only option to play around that was like play Wasteland, but that 2-for-1's me. I'm just gonna go ahead and concede here. We're not winning this game. We had turn 2 Karn Liquid Metal Coating lock if they didn't have Force of Will. So I feel very confident that that hand was a keep. Um, but it feels bad that they had the Force and then the rest of my hand was weak. This is just a hand that makes a turn 3 Mystic Forge and doesn't do much else as of right now. I think we can mulligan an average looking hand like that. This hand's probably good. I'll throw back the tome. Alright, so my Voltaic Key doesn't do much now. I think that's going to be okay. Play Chalice on 0, Coretapper, and then make a Karn next turn. Everflowing Chalice is just going to turn into something that immediately taps for 3. Or tapping their Chalice is kind of hilarious. And also just blow it up with Karn, though. Ooh! Yeah. And Karn and make a 2/2 this turn. I think it's probably better to play this Karn and just plus on their Chalice. I can also Mystic Forge. I think I just want to have a Karn at 6 loyalty. I can still minus it next turn, and then I can also get huge value off my Voltaic Key. That is an insane rip. I love it. I want that in play. All right, my opponent is just gonna concede to Karn plus bridge. That's fair. Plan was to get Liquid Metal Coating there and then just tap their Ancient Tomb this turn and start blowing up their lands. Ratchet Bomb for their creatures is reasonable. Part of me just wants to board in Ensnaring Bridge. Part of me just wants to board in Walking Ballista. um, like Walking Ballista specifically to draw it and pick off Eldrazi Mimics is good. Maybe I board out the rings and play Ballista. Now the question is, like, do I board in the other bridge just to draw it and play it naturally? Maybe the answer is no. Kind of weird. Unless we're prepared against combo, I don't really know that we sideboard much. What is mulligan? And is medium. Becomes very good with a lot of draws, but double City of Traders is awkward with no other stable mana. I think I'm going to ship this one. This and is weird. So it goes Wasteland, Chalice, Surge Node, Pass. Surge Node on Chalice. No. Whereas this hand is probably good. There's Coretapper, Astral Cornucopias. I need to get rid of 2 of these. I will get rid of one of the Mystic Forges. And I guess I get rid of the Surge Node because Chalice on 1 stops it. That makes sense. That Eldrazi deck is going fast. Real fast. Can't play the Astral Cornucopias because of Thorn. Okay, I feel like this is a huge win for me. I guess I let this get exiled in case the O-Rings somehow goes away. I don't exactly know how it would go away, but stranger things have happened. I guess that's how it could go away. Right, X is currently 0, paying 1 to do that. Done. Can I cast anything right now? Yes. Tap. Put that there. Sacrifice. Put those there. 3, 4, 5. Forge. I don't think I want to play Karn onto this board. Let's just play Forge. I probably am going to get rid of that, but I don't need to do it now. Yeah. Life total is getting awkward. I think accordingly, I just no, I don't want that. Okay. So I have 3, 6 mana. Use 3 mana to cast that for X equals 1. Three mana, cast that, X equals 1. I have 4 mana, which can cast Bridge, but that leaves 2 cards in my hand. I just I think I need to protect my life total here. I think that means paying 4 and then casting this for x equals 0. It costs me 2 life, but saves me 2 life. So I end up in the same spot. But I can also cast that and get it off the top of the library. I'm not really feeling Among Us. It just doesn't really seem like my sort of game. I get the appeal, I do. But I don't really find it that fun to watch. Another O-ring. That's scary. That puts me to 2, so I can't tap Ancient Tomb. That's really awkward. I need 1 more mana. With 1 more mana, I'm in much better shape. I have to exile. Well, maybe I don't have to exile. But exiling with Mystic Forge does things here. I can draw that, play it, get new looks at the top for a new bridge. Maybe I should just, like, take this because it's not going to be a card that gets stuck in my hand. Yeah. Can't pay the Thorn tax and cast Karn without killing myself, so I need to do this. And then I'm dead. Darn you, O-rings! Okay, like, we mulled to 5 and we're on the play. That all is not super surprising to me. I don't mind the deduction aspect, like, I enjoy that. Let's talk about this in between rounds, because we'll be at that point soon. All right. This hand seems powerful. I'm gonna keep it. All right. We go Ancient Tomb, tap, Grim Monolith, 3, Voltaic Key, use Voltaic Key, untap Monolith, up to 4, Karn, Karn minus, yes, hit, Liquid Metal Coating. Good turn 1. Spyglass is pretty good here, but I still get to wasteland my opponent, actually or physically. I think I like actually wastelanding them. Get a... Well, I guess it's the same if I just play Bridge and Liquid Metal Coating and that gets more cards out of my hand. Yeah. So I'll play Bridge. I guess then I don't show Wasteland this turn. Play Inventor's Fair. That gets me some life. Then I can do this. Just shut that off for the turn cycle. Now if they go another Spyglass into like another Soul Land into another Spyglass or something, that's a little awkward for me. Yeah, Karns win. Mystic Forge basically wins. But yes, a lot of the cards that are going to win the game are in the sideboard. I do think I want to draw a card here. I think that will be worth the life. That's a good card to draw. My mana situation's slightly awkward. I'm gonna draw. Maybe I don't. Maybe I do though. It is like that sometimes, isn't it? Yo, Urborg is great for me. Blast Zone's also pretty cool. I can get rid of all the twos. I'm not in a hurry there. It does seem fine to Blast Zone up, nuke the twos, then just lattice my opponent. I lose 2 cards, they lose 2 cards. Maybe I'll scry with this in this turn cycle. I also could just draw more cards. I don't really want to draw more cards. I'm going to tap this for black and cast this. And just get it out of my hand. Coretapper is a win con, has been called. Okay, my opponent played another 2-drop into my Blast Zone. I am good with that. Go ahead and send that to the bottom. That's fine. Alright, my opponent's just done. My opponent is just done. That's fair. Okay, while we queue, the social aspect, the like social deduction aspect of Among Us is interesting to me, but I don't find the game, like the actual gameplay of Among Us, all that interesting to watch, and I don't think I would find it all that interesting to play. The interesting part all occurs in conversation, and if everyone doesn't have Discord, and if you don't know like all the people that you're playing with, I don't really find the game all that interesting. I also think that it's going to be a game that dies off in a couple of weeks, so all in all, I don't really find myself chomping at the bit to play. Oh, hey, hey! Yeah, and even then, like I watch some really good let me rephrase that. I watch a some streamers who have really good audio quality, and then their Among Us videos are like atrocious because they have to deal with everyone else's audio quality too, and that's really hard to manage. I'm wondering if this hand is a keep. So it goes turn one Surge Node, turn two tap Surge Node, Astral Cornucopia. No, this is probably not a keep. I probably go to five. It's like real close. With one more mana, this hand is real nuts, or with a soul land instead. Oh, this one's got to be a keep. All right, what are we doing? Going back to this, I know that. So yeah, land, Coretapper, Chalice, turn one, into turn two Karn. I think I throw back the Wasteland and hope to keep my City of Traders around for a while. Sack now, play key, or I can get like thought seized, or wait and try to milk more counters out of it so it's worth more mana. Because if I get thought seized, my opponent's taking Karn anyway. I'll just pass. The deck is really interesting. Like, it does very weird mana things, and I like it. Paradox Engine. That is a niche name. I respect it. Takes knowledge to do a name like that. But I would have named a four of, I think. I guess I can go two, monolith, three, use one, untap monolith, four, Karn, Karn minus, create a 4/4 and have monolith untapped. I would have in their shoes, I probably would have named Karn the Great Creator. So I still would have whiffed, but there would have been hope, you know? Did we just end the game? 3, 6, 7, 8, down to 7, up to 10. Yeah, we just ended the game if nothing goes wrong here. Okay, we just turned to one with two Karns and what would have been 10 power in play after I minus this Karn. Moses, I wanted the initial oomph. Oh, it's my turn 3? Alright. Simic Demir. Thank you very much for following. Oh, and Arkan hosted me at some point, and I just totally missed it while I was in the midst of it. So for anyone who joined in 46 minutes ago, hello, I'm Phil Gallagher. I run Thraben University, and we're playing some very fun jank today, and I hope you all are enjoying it. 16? Hold on. So I had a 4-4, would have been a 5-5, lattice would have resolved 6-6. 12? Yeah, math is hard. Basic counting, multiplying by 2. Eh. I don't know what my opponent's playing. But if it's anything like what we've been doing, I just hit submit and we somehow win. Except against Dak Baton. Through Dak Baton. um, Deo, I have played Modern in the past, and I take Modern donation deck lists, but I'm really primarily a Legacy player, although I've been dabbling quite a bit in Vintage recently. Oh, Eric, you're right. You're right. You good against my opponent? Maybe? What do you mean got me to play Red Prism? It's not hard. Deo, if you want to scroll over the cards on screen, that's the Cardboard Live extension, and you can get a sort of better physical view that way. I believe the command is exclamation mark deck list without a space in between if you want like that version. Alucartez, it was kind of hilarious in, I think it was round 1. Yeah. In round 1, I animated it with Karn and got to attack with it, and it attacking still triggers the whole lightning bolt thing. So is it good in a vacuum? Yeah, I don't really know, but it made for some great content this league. I don't think I'm going to do an article on Esperant. I'm just going to keep playing with it and winning games with it. What do I get? Forge? Forge seems good when I don't know what my opponent's doing. They paused for a long time on the Thoughtseize, though, which kind of makes me think they're bad against Ensnaring Bridge. Let's look for some basic lands. Shoot, I don't have any. No, no, no. Yes, yes. Get an Inventors Fair next turn once we have a better idea of what we need. Shit. Alright, how bad is it? Alright, that's kind of what I thought. Okay, so my creatures are small, and my voltaic keys and untaps are off. That also means that this tutor ability is off, doesn't it? Yeah. Third node is off. So I have 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. I wonder if I can just blast zone away their 8 drop. I also wonder if it is correct to do that. 3, 6, 7, 8. I put 4 counters on it this turn, and then it's slower after that. Alright. Buckle up, chat. Fuck, I can't blast zone! No! Whatever. Let's top deck a Karn. Eh. I don't know what the second one is gonna get. But we could be talking about, like, sandworm convergence levels of weird here. Fine and Andy, I don't know if you have audio back yet, but this was a wonderful donation. I just cast this for 1. Get it out of the hand. You have to have something else on there. Alright, what do you got? Oh, it's a full-on curse package. Well met. Alright. Someone is only giving me 1 card a turn. That's good against Mystic Forge. Ooh, that's good. That's a clock. My own ensnaring bridge probably works against me now. I don't get to, like, Karn minus, and kill my opponent in 2 attacks. Ooh, they also have the other curse. Ah! I do not think I would have showed Collector Oof in their position. Go to the next game. Alright, Overwhelming Splendor is really good against me. I think I want to replace Bridge with something else. My opponent looks like they're on Big Dumb Enchantments instead of Big Dumb Creatures as finishers. Like, I could get punished for being wrong and just get obliterated by a Questing Beast or something, but it feels like these are going to get in my way with Karn Scion of Urza's. Yeah, Duckles, I misspoke. My creatures would have been small. I would have been making 1/1s. There's a lot to think about on the other side of the board, and I was just spewing words. Is it Trinispheres? Like, so many of my cards are just kind of fringe. Rings is eh. I just fell with a second ring. I don't know. Maybe Trinispheres when I'm on the play. Just gives me a little bit more game against, like, Flashback Cabal Therapy. So the Trinispheres are, like, bad if I'm going off via Mystic Forge, so, like, basically. Turn 1 Trinisphere. Accept. Accept. Ever didn't have it. 4 mana to untap that, right? Yep. I will play the Scry Machine that will find us a land into a win condition. Oh yeah, opponent's deck is super fun. That stays on top. Karn Liqui. I guess I can scry and then make that decision. Urge Node goes on the bottom. So, pal, the interesting thing about the pick is that I have 5 mana and I have a scry effect. So I could just go Mycosynth Lattice immediately. Like, that's an option that's available to me. I kind of want to draw a card and try to spike a land so I can get, well, it's not true with City of Traders, I guess. I think it's worth a 2 life to just draw here. The Voltaic Key, not exactly great with Trinisphere in play. The opponent will need a 4th land in order to do anything this turn. And even if they sacrifice a Veteran Explorer, they still basically just end up breaking even after this other card activation. That Thoughtseize taking my Karn Sign of Urza is actually pretty good. That means I don't get to just pivot quickly. So then next turn I could just go for the Liquid Metal, or sorry, the actual Lockout. Just get some stuff out of my hand this turn. Play Voltaic Key. Get it out of hand as well. Yes. That's going to net me mana in the future. I'll also have the option to untap a Monolith for 2 life. Yeah, Phyrexian Tower or land into Collector Oof are the things that have a real amount of impact on this game at this point. Opponent has had a lot of land. Right? I think the immediacy of this scry is fine. Alright, so actually, I guess I don't have a lock this turn. But I can still just continue this plan that I've been on. It's very good. Now my opponent can't flash back the Cabal Therapy. Six. I want to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Past that for x equals 2. Use this mana. Untap this. And then that serves as a Rishadan port. So that they can't even potentially flashback a Cabal Therapy. Well, I guess that's not true. Like, Phyrexian Tower is still an out. Oh shoot, non-creature artifact. I just messed up. Gave my opponent a small window there. That's okay. Good with that? I think I'm good with that. Does mean that they can potentially attack the Karn for 2 and actually chip away at my loyalty. So there's potentially better lines available to me that involve like minusing grabbing Walking Ballista or something. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Down to 7, up to 10. I can cast a Walking Ballista for x equals 5. Use that to kill a Dryad Arbor. Or I can just blow up the forest as well and assume that I'll top deck out of something that can kill 2 1/1s. I also have the option available to me to just kill the Veteran Explorer. But giving them 2 lands doesn't seem good when I've been working on controlling them for this long. Do. Please don't sit here and time out for 5 minutes rather than concede. I will be sad. Samurai fun. Samurai salt. Alright. Non-MTG related stuff. Oh, nope. Opponent is going. Okay. There is a world where I am supposed to blast zone that away here. I'm gonna let them have their hit. By blast zone, I lose my key. They lose the Veteran Explorer, which they're probably going to lose anyway. Maybe I'm supposed to do this. That's weird. They showed me the tower. Are they just trying to sinkhole me too? I'm gonna blow this up. Potentially denies 2 mana off the Phyrexian Tower sacrifice. Or forces them to lose a Dryad Arbor if they want to cast something big. Wow, that's insanely good. I probably Wasteland. Wasteland Dryad Arbor, Liquid Metal Coating, Phyrexian Tower. Then my opponent can still Cabal Therapy, though. I just Lattice. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Cast Lattice. Cast Lattice with this 6 mana. Then Wasteland Dryad Arbor. Karn is at 2. Academy Rector attacks for 1. That maths out. Yeah. Yeah, that maths out. Yeah, Trinosphere stops you from casting the Cabal Therapy that's in Graveyard. I can play this. Go 1, 2, 3, 4. Karn. This Karn. Karn minus. This Karn. Yes, I didn't really need to do that, but, you know. Excuse me? My opponent says I missed that 1 damage from Dryad Arbor. Can't believe that it came down to that. Yeah. Glad I recorded. GG's. Yeah, let's not block that. Oh wow, my opponent's not dead this turn? I just like assumed they were going to be dead. I didn't actually count. If I'm being honest. What a ridiculous round. Opponent did a surprisingly good job of wiggling through stuff there. Alright, I'm going to take 2 minutes and run to the restroom. I will be right back. No, Jay. To the best of my knowledge, nothing has happened regarding the Eternal Weekend bribery. And honestly, I don't know that anything will happen. I also don't know that anything should happen to that player specifically. I think this is an opportunity not to punish one player, but I think this is a good opportunity to find a better system than what exists. Like, I think it's time to change the rules, have a Magic Online tournament rules that actually is used, have a set of expectations that is displayed at the top of or like just is displayed when you join a Premier event that like clearly lays out what is and is not acceptable. Because like the rules that currently exist are bad. Um, if someone just wants to link to it in like link to a Twitter thread or link to the YouTube video so people can check it out later, that would be cool. But I don't think I can talk about that with the nuance that it requires while also piloting this deck. Oh baby, we're going. We are going fast. I feel like planes go. There are a number of different ways that improvement could be seen. Log. I'm with you on that one. But like with the rules as they're currently written, if you are streaming an event, you could be DQ'd for that at like literally any moment based on like what is it, collaboration. I forget what it is. I linked on Twitter my general point there. I can also get Surge Node in, right? Surge Node breaks even on mana. Surge Node, Astral Cornucopia for 0, use 1 mana, put a counter on Astral Cornucopia, which nets itself back. Oh wait, hold on, do I lose a mana doing that? So 1 mana, Surge Node, Astral Cornucopia, 3 mana remain. No, I just want a Karn now. It's the Coretapper that nets me even immediately. I might actually get to make infinite mana this game. Yeah, the book is going to be like actively good here. Rings first. Yeah, so we have infinite mana next turn. Just need something to do with it. Okay, I guess I don't yet, right? Or do I? Let's find out. I think I do, maybe. So Ring's copying this. It's 4 mana to untap. Yeah, I need this. 2 more. I can also just like double Surge Node. Maybe I double draw to start off. Yeah, let's double draw to start off. No, the book eventually runs out. So let's go 1, untap Monolith this turn. No, I won't copy that. I'll go 3, Surge Node here. A1. Will I copy it? Yes. Same target. And now I will wasteland you. Oh my god, I could copy wasteland? That was not something that was on my radar that was going to happen. That's like actually good against my Maze Mind Tomes. Kind of annoying. Oh, yo, and that also doesn't like put extra counters on this. That's cool. Try? I want to scry. Not gonna copy it though. No? Just want a piece of gas. Using it on 3 also gets rid of my rings, which is kind of eh. All these ancient tombs is also sort of a pain in the butt. Alright. Now I go 4, Voltaic Key, untap. Yes. Same targets. Untap. Tap. I guess I have to use the second one to untap the Voltaic Key. That's fine. I'm not actually like going infinite this turn. So let's play a Maze Mind Tome. I just want to scry with it twice. Yeah, that can go on top. That and stay on top. We'll play Monolith. Play this, pass. So next turn, I go like Astral Cornucopia, tap it, use Voltaic Key, untap Key, and Cornucopia, and go infinite that way. All right. So 3 Surge Node here. A1. All right. So 6 Voltaic Key, untap, 1. Yes, untap Key. Six, 1, untap. Yes, untap Key. Six. Go ahead and play out the Mystic Forge now. This doesn't resolve, no needs to make a billion T mana. Okay, that's pretty good. I guess there was slightly more ideal sequencing I could have done. But I can also copy this. It'd be fine though. We will get a Mycosynth Lattice with 1. Yes. We'll get an Ensnaring Bridge with another. I'll go Voltaic Key. Untap this. Paying 1. Because I was lazy, I have to tap this Ancient Tomb. Yeah, we could have just killed. That's fair. This also killed. In fewer clicks. But yeah, I guess Lattice plus Ballista was just better. Like, just cast the Lattice as essentially a card that stops Force of Will, and then Ballista kill afterwards. Alright, Rings finally did something. It took 5 matches, but, like, the Rings actually allowed us to go infinite. I'm not sure that I'm actually supposed to sideboard. Three ball's kind of interesting when I'm on the play, but eh. Basically, the deck is perfect. Um, Ancient Tomb, Coretapper, Cornucopia, into Grim Monolith, into turn 2 Karn, into turn 3 Karn. Yep. Palace isn't bad either. Just cast Everflowing for 1. 2, 3, 4. No, I cast Grim Monolith. That lets me play both Karns next turn. I get to have a bait Karn and a real Karn. That's cool. Don't know. Is aggro Karn my bait? I think aggro Karn is my bait. The awkward thing about that, though, is if first Karn resolves. Well, maybe that's not that awkward. I have 2 Karns. Maybe this Karn is my bait. Because I just want to be able to have a huge construct. If I play this Karn second and my opponent just goes Oko, attack it, that doesn't actually leave me in all that great of a position. Yeah, maybe this Karn goes first. Oh, wow, it just resolved. I have 5 mana. I can just get Liquid Metal Coating and pork them. I like that. Yeah, that's fine. Nice. Okay, Pokemon. Now I have a second to read your comment. Okay. So, okay. What I meant was infinite mana, key plus tome plus ring is draw your deck because you respond to the exile trigger and untap Tome to draw another card. All right, what's the wording here? Oh, I see. So you have infinite mana and infinite untaps. So with the exile trigger on the stack, yeah, that should theoretically work. You're right. I didn't realize that. I thought the wording was like when there are. Well, no, it's still a trigger if it does that. In my mind, I was thinking when there's 4 counters on it, it's going to go straight to the graveyard and then something's going to trigger, but that's not true. Yeah, so it was a theoretical line that could be taken in other moments, but the Leovold that was in play there was totally cramping my style. Agreed. But I wasn't watching for that at other times, so I maybe could have played towards it. Okay, thoughts on this deck? It was better than I thought it was going to be. Like, jamming Karns and Mystic Forges is relatively powerful, and the mana acceleration, though slightly clunky, was like surprisingly good. Like way better than I expected. I expected like the Astral Cornucopias to be terrible, and it turns out with Surge Node and Coretapper, they actually can do a lot of work in accelerating you into this stuff on turn 1 or 2. Um, I'm not going to say that this is like the next big thing in Legacy or anything like that, but I was expecting jank. I was expecting to like 2-3 or something like that, and we put up a really solid finish. And we didn't really even sideboard with this deck. We just like played the 60 in almost every round or made very, very, very minor adjustments to it. Um, there's so many different directions that you could adjust in deck building here that I don't really know what I would do if I was going to play this again. We do kind of feel soft to opposing combo, which we didn't really run into today. Karn the Great Creator is good against some things, like say TES or Ant, but not as good against something like Show and Tell, and their getting to 4 mana is a little bit hard anyway. Chalice is often what's buying you time, and we don't have that same Chalice. So I wonder if even more of the sideboard than just the 4 Trinispheres should be for fairish stuff, or sorry, for unfair stuff. I don't know, like maybe this thing is powerful enough at doing what it's doing and fast enough at like aggro or lattice or uh, liquid metal coating lockouts that it's fine as is. Um, the deck's interesting. The deck's fun. I encourage people to play around with this if you have like card hoarder loan accounts or something like that that lets you mess around with this stuff for free. Alucartez, one of our opponents actually, like the Nick Fit player, named Paradox Engine with their Cabal Therapy because they were terrified of it. Um, I think Paradox Engine might be better than the like random Basalt monolith that's in the sideboard. No. Ratchet Bomb also felt really awkward in the sideboard. Like I get why it's there; it's a generic catch-all answer, but we have so many permanents at 0 and 1, which is the primary things that you usually want to be hitting with Ratchet Bombs. That I don't know. I don't know that. I don't know what Ratchet Bomb is removing that's so important that that card couldn't be something else. So I think I would be interested in maybe swapping the Basalt monolith for Paradox Engine, and then finding some other combo hate card to play over Ratchet Bomb or something like that, maybe. Yeah, I mean, manipulating the charge counters is super cute, and you do produce a ton of mana. That's not relevant with Ratchet Bomb. Sorry, wrong thing. I was thinking about Blast Zone there. Blast Zone seemed really good. That lets you blow up bigger, dumb stuff that somehow gets into play. And it's relatively free being a land.